All right, 3, 2, 1, let's do this. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Problem, the podcast. And today we're going to rock out of Jay Glazer's book, Unbreakable. I did reach out to him after I read this book a couple years back. I reached out to him, DM'd him, see if he would come on and share his story. Crickets. And dude, let me tell you something. This isn't what I was going to talk about, but let me tell you something. This is the reason why I have done a solo podcast for so many years. I felt like I had to build up this street cred. Back in 2017, I built up this street cred so that way I could have the well-known people on my podcast. Why? Because that's what everybody else was doing. And it was finally, this was at the pivotal point when I was at rock bottom. I was demoted, bankrupt, depressed, homeless. Like, I was at the bottom rung in life, man. And I was like, fuck it, man. I'm going to start a podcast. And I can have anybody I want to on my podcast because I have books. And I like to read for ideas and interpret that on what it means to me. And I'm just going to share that as I live it. And that's how the podcast came about in 2017. And, you know, damn, bro, we're almost 10 years into this. What a ride it's been. But I say that to say that no one or no thing is standing in your way. You just got to work around whatever the obstacle is. The obstacle is the way, like Ryan Holiday says. So you just got to work around it. And so I read Jay Glazer's book sometime back, and you know, sometimes when you read things, you forget about them. And in my random reading, I just grabbed his book off the shelf, haven't read it in many years, and thumbed it to the back of the book, and it was something, I don't remember reading any of this section right here. But it was the 5 pillars of building or creating an unbreakable mindset. The first pillar, and this is the one I want to emphasize on, is find out who the best is and do more than them. And I was like, oh, tell me more. He said, literally, it's that simple. It's not easy because you got to put in the work, but it's literally that simple. Find out where you want to be in life and do more than everyone else it takes to get there. Outwork the world. Love that. Outwork the world. That's the magic bullet for success. It's right there in front of your face. So the first thing I want to ask you, do you even know what you want? Napoleon Hill calls it a definiteness of purpose. Because if you don't know what you're gunning for, if you don't know what you want in life, don't worry about how, okay? The how is going to take care of itself. Don't worry about when. It's what you do for when it happens anyway. So don't worry about any of that. But if you do this, if you know what you want, I don't care how far-fetched it is. Bro, if I sat down and told you at going on 53 years old what I want, you'd be like, whoa. And in my carnal mind, I could sit here and say, oh, you're half of 100. It's too late. No, I'm going to show you what's possible on the other side of too late. That's the thing I bang my drum on every single day. And so number one is find out what you want to be in life. And then do more than everyone else it takes to get there. Now, let me explain something to you. You have access to legends. And most people don't even realize this. Most people don't even take this into account. There's never been a time in life. I mean, go back, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years. Go back 100 years. Nobody had access to legends. Nobody had firsthand access to Carnegie or Cornelius Vanderbilt or J.P. Morgan. I mean, those guys created their wealth in a shroud of secrecy anyway. Like, they didn't want you to know what they were doing. And there has never been a time in life where not only do you have access to legends of the past, but you also have access to living legends right there in your phone. It's right here. And what most people are doing is they're scrolling, consuming what everybody else is doing in life, instead of leveraging the power of technology and creating a life that they want. You have access to legends. Find out who's the best. Whatever it is that you want, find out who the best is and do more than them. And you have access to that through digital books, through physical books, through social media, through podcasts, through YouTube videos. All of that is free. AI, all of that is free. Literally at your fingertips. Yet, what are you doing with it? See, time is the great equalizer, but it's also the greatest separator. No one has more time than you, yet no one has less time than you either. Okay? It's the greatest equalizer. There's no unfair advantage here. Everybody, from the rich and famous to the poor and desolate, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yet it's also the greatest separator, because even though we all have the same time, most people don't make productive use of their time by, number one, figuring out what you want. Number two, finding out who the best is. Number three, doing more than them. And while you do that, you have access anytime, anywhere. Elon Musk can ride to work with me. Steve Jobs is right there on my nightstand in the middle of the night. Andrew Carnegie is right there while an NBA game is playing on TV. I'm hanging out with him, watching the game with him, reading his book. It's right there. It's right there. But most people are just sitting here floating around in life and don't do anything with it. In this chapter, Jay Glazer points out one of his best friends, Tony Gonzalez, Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez. Yet, one thing I didn't realize, the first 2 seasons of Tony Gonzalez's NFL career, he was mediocre at best, like as in practice squad. And I bet you he was the best in college, and I'm sure he was disillusioned and got into the NFL thinking because he was at the highlight, the high of the high, dominant in his collegiate career, and then you get to the NFL, my God, everybody is big. Everybody is fast. Everybody is strong. In the first 2 years, man, he had to recalibrate. Like, he was benched. But see, something changed. He caught a whiff of find out who the best is and then do more than them. Because Gonzalez, see, he realized that it's one thing to be fast and strong, but then what's it take to be successful? You got to catch the ball, and you got to do something with it. So where most people were catching only 15 balls in practice and relying on their natural talents that had gotten them into the NFL and probably let up, they were just working out in the weight room, probably working on speed. No, he said also, I'm going to figure out, I'm going to catch more balls. So before practice, he caught 50 to 75 balls. During practice, he caught 150. After practice, he caught another 75. He did that every single day. Don't you know that third year, he became a Pro Bowler? In 13 out of 14 seasons, he was a Pro Bowler. Now he's a Hall of Famer and considered one of the best, actually the best, in his position, because nobody has caught more balls or ran more yards in his position. Find out who the best is and do more than them. You look at other legends also. The first person who came to mind was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, where most NBA professionals were working out twice a day, he worked out 4 times a day. He did that every single day. And by the time the rest of the league figured out what he was doing, he was so far down the runway that even if they copied what he was doing, he was well beyond them. because he even said, I'm watching a documentary on him now. He even told somebody, like he was 18 years old with the Lakers, and told one of his teammates, I'm better than Michael Jordan. Boom. But he studied him. Jerry Rice, same thing. One of the best wide receivers in the NFL, 49ers fame. He wasn't the fastest or most talented on his team or in the league. But the mechanics of, even in practice, he caught the ball and sprinted to the end zone every single time. See, what he did is he worked on that where it was muscle memory. Tony Gonzalez didn't just catch before practice, during practice, after practice, 75 balls before practice, 150 balls during practice, 75 at the end of practice. He didn't just do that. He also simulated game time experience, meaning that his chin strap was buckled, his eyes were wide, he caught the ball, tucked it, and moved with it. Because it's one thing to just catch the ball, then you got to do something with it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Find out who the best is and outwork them. Back to the book. A true sign of greatness is the work you put in when nobody's watching, when nobody is pushing or demanding that you finish a set or a workout. It's the hours you spend by yourself, training, studying, watching film, practicing, and working on your craft. Drew Brees even echoed it. Sometimes trying to be great is lonely. At the end of the day, man, it's your decision. And it's really the magic bullet for success. I mean, if you wanted any hack to success, Jay Glazer even says this, if you want greatness in any field, this pillar, find out who the best is and do more than them, this pillar is the straightest path to getting there and living your dreams. But see, it all boils down to a decision. And it means that you got to be relentless. It means that sometimes you got to be a disaster before you become the master. And you just go through it and you keep going and you keep going. You get through that messy middle, man, those dark times where everybody else turns back. I get tremendous joy out of just I'm barreling in on 1,000 episodes. It's not just 1,000 episodes. It's 1,000 episodes of commitment where everybody else, there are a bunch of people, man, that I've met along the way who were starting a podcast right around the same time. Ben stopped. And that's something, man, I do it in the podcast. I do it in my creative career. I do it in my professional career. I do it in my fitness. It's the same thing. I'm dusting your ass. I just keep showing up. I just keep being consistent. I just keep laying the brick. Find out who the best is and outwork them. And that's what I'm banging the drum to. But at the end of the day, back to my point, it's a decision that you got to make. And the decision that you make are going to either carry consequences or benefits. Either way, you got to live with them. It's the decision to not do it and to just coast and to do just enough and to just enjoy today. Fuck it. Okay? Well, then there's the consequences. Deal with it. But then also, if you do find out who the best is and do more than them, fucking outwork the world, well, there's going to be a benefit to that. There's no other way. You will succeed. Why? Because you won't quit. All right? Let's get out of here. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Stay tough. Peace.